pants. All right, forget it. Go ahead.
This is brand new from Sam Smith and it sounds great. It's called I'm Not Here to Make Friends. The album Gloria is out now, out today. Okay, Jan Slam coming up. Entries are now closed for Jan Slam. We will get two people head-to-head on the show in about 15 minutes' time. After 8:30 today, make sure you're listening. KSI is my special guest this morning. I've got Years and Years and Calvin Harris to play next. First, some news with Callum.
Radio 1, Newsbeat.
We're talking phones this morning and what happened to Ed. He had his stolen out his hand on a night out, but then saw more than $5,000 taken out his bank account because they used apps on his phone to do it. He says he had a nightmare persuading the bank it wasn't him.
If I wasn't on the phone for hours a day, I was writing emails. I actually ended up recording every conversation I had with the banks because I just had no faith in getting anywhere.
He eventually got his money back, but it took months and he was signed off work. Newsbeat's Olivia Lepoideva, what are banks themselves saying?
Well, a body representing them says they are always looking at stopping new ways of stealing cash. Experts are telling us to always have face or fingerprint ID on and not to have the same PIN for our phone as those bank apps. And they say that's sometimes what people who want to take it will watch over someone's shoulder.
And before we move on, we want to know, has this happened to you? Tell us, we're on WhatsApp. 03700 100 100, message or voice notice. In America, 5 police officers have been charged with murdering a black man who died 3 days after being stopped by them. It happened in the city Memphis in Tennessee. Lawyers say 29-year-old Tyree Nichols was kicked, punched and tasered. The officers, who'd also black, were sacked last week. Here's the local mayor.
I am sad and angry for the family of Tyree Nichols. I am also angry for the many good men and women of the Memphis Police Department who devote their lives to serving our citizens.
Back here, average rent in the UK is higher than it's ever been. That's what a property site's saying. It's more than £1,100 a month. This from the last 3 months of last year. Friday night later, some dancing for some of you on the cards. And we're hearing from DJ Ida on that. She's from Iran and has an album out to raise money for women in her home country who are protesting about how they're treated. It's against the law for women to dance there. She hopes it's still played.
There is dancing and there is life as we know it happening underground in Iran. And so maybe not publicly, but these things do happen.
And not long to go until the final ever episode of Happy Valley. Rhys Connor plays one of the main characters, Ryan, in it, alongside big names like James Norton, which the teenager says has been amazing.
It's incredible that you're being able to work next to some of, well, I'd say some of the best actors in the world, and you can learn so much from them, stuff that you just couldn't learn anywhere else.
On to football, and England boss Gareth Southgate, who says he thought about quitting over the stick he got before the World Cup. They'd not been in great form. Back in June, the team were booed off after losing 4-0 to Hungary.
I was worried after that game that the team would be affected by the narrative being constantly about should the manager stay or go. That can inhibit performance.
He's since agreed to stay on. Some cricket talk this week that Ben Stokes could come out of 50-over retirement for England and play in the World Cup later this year. Now Charles Butler saying he's not planning for that at all. This is Newsbeat. The time right now, 8 minutes past.
Reading and Leeds tickets to give away next.
Still to come.
On Radio 1. At 1.
Matt and Jamie at 10. Radio 1 Anthems.
But right now,
it's Radio 1 Breakfast with Greg James.